that you have for us, that we can lay hold of in this old cursed world. Help us to fully understand that, God, this morning, today. Help us to meditate, grow, and learn on it, that we might be your partner in this work. In Jesus' name I pray. Yes. Amen. Amen. Somebody look up Matthew 11:28-29 for me there. King James, real familiar scripture. Real familiar scripture. We've all heard it. A lot of times. Somebody got it? Raise your hand if you got it. Okay. Rickster? Brother Rickster, I should say. Rick, if you'll read that for us good and loud. And is that the King James you got?
It is.
Okay. Read that.
Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
That's a powerful statement. It's one that we, familiarity is not always good in a lot of things. That's a scripture that it's no telling. For some person that's been a Christian for years, it's no telling how many times we've heard it or read it. And they become so familiar with us that we begin to overlook, we begin to lose the awe of these things. And sometimes we fail to look deep into it and study it as the Bible tells us. What he's telling us here, of course, he's talking to the Jews here in Matthew, and the Jews they're burdened down with their rituals and their lifestyle. You've got to do this, you've got to do. The Jews' world was full of thou shalt nots and thou shalt, and instead of a heart thing, they were trying to earn their salvation. Which we can't do. We're justified by faith, by grace. And they, instead of trying to earn their way in as a son, an adopted child, a partner with God, they were trying to earn their way into heaven. They didn't understand how deep it went, how much deeper it went. And what he's saying there, take my yoke on me. He said, learn. And he says, he's talking about learn from me. Follow me. And as you follow me as my disciple. In other words, you follow me and do what I do. And he said, I'm gentle. I'm humble. You be like me. Follow me. And he's humble in heart, humble in will. Hey, Terry, Jay, Tammy. And he says, you'll find rest. This scripture is telling us you'll find rest. You'll find quiet. You'll find peace for your soul. Now, remember, he's humble in heart. And I want to get across to all of us, it's very important that we understand what heart is, what's the content of the heart. That is very, very important. And if somebody remembers that, say it out to me. It'll encourage me. But he says, you'll find rest, you'll find quiet for your soul, you'll find peace. And he says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. If ever there was an appropriate place, I've heard the term for years. I don't remember where I first heard it. And probably most of you have heard it in one way or another. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. To live for Jesus hard is easy. To live for Jesus easy is hard. It's one you got to think about. And to live for Him hard, that don't mean that it's hard and labor intense. It means to go after it with everything you got.
Yeah, that's right.
It means to go after it with everything you got. And that is easy.
Yes.
Because He supplied everything we need to do that. But if we want to stop short of that, short of everything that He has for us, we can. We can. It just really depends on my choice. I have that free will. I'm created in His image in that way. I have a free will. Now, I would submit that the only possible reason anyone, as the Bible says, would neglect so great a salvation, and we're not talking about just going to heaven here, I would say that the only reason anyone would stop short of living hard for Him is because you don't fully realize the benefits of Him, of living for Him. Once you're in those benefits, once you see, it's an experiential thing. Once you experience it, there ain't no going back for me. There ain't no going back. However, I submit, sadly, so few of us, so few Christians.
Yeah.
I'm talking about few. I'm talking about maybe 10%. I don't know a number. I've never seen it. But I have seen the number that I believe it was put out. There's an organization that does statistics on Christian churches, and it was staggering that it was either 83 or 87% of professing Christians are biblically illiterate.
That's it.
That don't mean, now, that's not saying that they haven't read the Bible. Probably most Christians have set out to read the Bible. And maybe have read it all the way through. But illiterate means they don't understand what they're reading. And so if you don't understand what you're reading, what are you going to go for? You don't know what there is to go for. You don't know what the goal is. You don't fully understand it. So it's critical that we try to understand it and get the most out of this thing. There is more for us than we can ever imagine. Ever imagine. And I'm not talking about after I die, after this world beats me down, after my horse kicked me and my dog ate my cat and my cat ate my bird. I'm not talking about after all that and then it's all over and I get to go to heaven. I'm talking about here. Right now. Right now, today, this very day, there is more for you than you can imagine. More joy that if we are living in the fullness, there is no way that the undertaker can get the grin off our face.
That's right.
I don't care what comes your way. I really don't care. Because we're in this cursed world. And there's a whole lot of things that come our way.
Yeah.
But that don't affect me. Why? Because me is in here. Inside. Not on the outside. Nobody volunteered to tell me what heart was again, so I'll say it again. Heart, the word heart and soul, in most every context that I have found, is interchangeable. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now, the heart, we know what the heart is. The heart is tangible. They can take it out and they can hold it in their hand. The doctors can. They did my son. And it's a muscle that beats. It's a physical part. It's a carnal part, a meaty part. We know what that is. We can absolutely relate to that. That's why, in many cases, in most cases, the Bible references the heart as opposed to saying soul. We can't relate to the soul quite as much, quite as well. We say somebody loves somebody with all their heart. And we do. I do. But in reality, that's me, that's my makeup with all I've got. Now, if out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks, what causes you to speak what you speak? First, it's my thoughts. First, it's what I think about. It's what I dwell upon. It's what I allow to be in here long enough to affect and impact my will. I call it a sub-triune. It's a sub-trinity within us. Our thoughts are in here. They what we think on, what we allow to grow, becomes our will, what we want. That's what we want to do. And then our will, we can still control our will. We can control our thoughts. We can control our will. We can control our emotions. All three of those. We are made in His image. We have free will. We have free choice. We are made in that. Now, if I can't or don't, can't's not the right word because I can't control. If I don't control my thoughts, if Pastor back there is done, no, I won't use Pastor. I'd rather pick on Terry. If Terry has done me how he come over and done a plumbing job, which he does great plumbing. I highly recommend it. He does it. But I'll use this because this is far-fetched. If he does a plumbing job, just really botches it up and floods my house and charges me 5 times whatever the price is, and he's only done that twice. No, he hasn't. He never has, and he's done a lot of work for me. If he were to do that, and I said, man, I can't believe it. I thought he was a good old boy. My thoughts, you can imagine where my thoughts are going to go if he were to do that to me. Now, if I allow those, I just keep on. Every time I walk in the house, I go into my flooded basement. And there it is. Whoo! Jerry fills my head again, my thoughts again. There it is. And then, if I do that, then it soon becomes my will. I would say, man, I just love to give him a piece of my mind. I just love to tell him off. I'd love to tell him what I think of his work or what I think of his Christian life. He shouldn't do that to a Christian brother. He shouldn't do that to anyone. He's supposed to be an ambassador. He's supposed to be an example of Christianity. Everyone understand, on YouTube, Terry Wakeford's a great old boy. He does good work. But he never has beat me up, so I pick on him. As a Christian example, he's a lousy example. I'd like to tell him that. I need to tell him that. But no, I won't do that because that would just make things worse. However, that remains in my thoughts. My thoughts remain with my will, causing me to want to do that. So I have not. Now I have not. And so all that's left of the triune is my emotions. Terry said, man, I really need some more plumbing work done. Terry speaks up. He jumps up right quick. Hey, I'm a plumber, I'll do it. Bang! My emotions, I lost them. I lose control of those emotions. And then what happens? My thoughts have caused my will to be set. The hammer's cocked on my will. And now The only thing, the trigger for my will is my emotions.
Pretty good stuff.
And so as soon as he jumped up and said, hey, I'll do it. I'm a great plumber. I'll do this and I'll do that. My emotions, I lose control of them. And I say, there ain't no way you want to hire that. And I'll go ahead and say all the bad things that I want to say. All the things that I know that I shouldn't. But I'll go ahead and say them. Now, where have those words come from? Out of the abundance of the heart. Did they come out of the heart? Yeah, they did, because that word is interchangeable with the soul. With the soul. This is critical to understand. We're in charge. We're in control. We're in control. So those words come out of my soul. My soul is made up of my thoughts, my will, my emotions. All three of those of the Trinity, I am Frank. God gave me control of. So please keep that in mind when you're studying, when you're reading. Understand what the heart is. That's our soul. That's more than just a muscle beating order. That's all the physical heart is. But what it's referencing is our soul, our very soul. In that way, we are created in His image. That's so important to understand. Jesus said, He said, I'm gentle, I'm humble in heart. And I'll give you quiet for your souls and peace. My turn, you've all heard me say it a million times. Maybe not a million yet, but hang around and I'll get there probably, because it's the most important part of our walk is well-being. Being able to say, it is well. Being able to say that no matter what's going on in your world, no matter what just happened to you, no matter what. It's in the world. All of my well-being is not of the world. My well-being is of God, is of Spirit. So what he's saying here, he's saying, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. First of all, yoke. Now here's the partnership. We are in a partnership with Jesus. We're in a partnership. We enter in by faith, just believing that He is. Believing who He is. And He loves us. God loves us so much, that He gave us His Son. He sent His Son to sacrifice, to be a sacrifice. Remember, obedience is better than sacrifice, because sacrifice has been done once and for all. We can't sacrifice enough. We can never do anything. We can never sacrifice anything that will negate that, overcome that, be better than that, be bigger than that. Jesus did it all. As last Sunday or Wednesday night, Jared said, remember that it's all done. It's all done. So sacrifice is not, obedience now becomes our deal. It becomes everything that we are. It's obedience to the calling of that sacrifice.
Yes.
That once and for all sacrifice. It's in that obedience that we then gain the benefit of that sacrifice.
That's right.
In obedience. Now, the Bible keeps talking about fullness of Jesus. Full. You find it, I don't know how many times in the New Testament you find it a bunch. Why would it say that if it were possible not to be full? Because it's possible not to be full. You could have this much, you could have this much, you could have this much, or you could be full. And it says abundance. Abundance is overflow. That's when it's full. That's when it's maxed out. That's what he says. He said he wants me to have life and and have it more abundantly. And what that means is I want you to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. How can I enjoy life? I'm sick. I'm broke. I lost my home. My wife run off with the preacher. Listen, I'm sorry, preacher. And you're not big. And my car quit. How can I enjoy life? Because your life is not of this world. Because you're in this world. That's why your car quit running. You lost your house, you lost your job, and all the things that go along with that. But why don't you get it? Why don't you understand? You don't stop with this world. You're only here for a short season. You have been around since your soul, your spirit is eternal. It was and it will be. This is not even a blip on the screen. Not even a blip on the screen. Why would I let this ruin make me miserable, keep me depressed, keep me beat down, keep me convicted, keep me feeling terrible, to keep me in torment? Why would I let it do it when I don't have to? Jesus offered me a partnership. I always told my sons, I've had several businesses, and I've been in a partnership with another guy, and my very first was in a partnership with my uncle. My uncle knew all about construction. He built houses and worked for years. He was older than me, and he told me, I'd gone to St. Louis, working up there. He told me, he said, if you come back down home, he said, and help me. He said, I've got all the tools, I've got all the knowledge of how to do all this stuff. And he was getting overwhelmed where I was just a young kid. And he said, if you help me, he said, you take care of the figuring and math and the ordering, and you help me on job, and that's what you'll contribute to it. I got everything else. I got the how-to down pat. You just bring the will to, and I'll offer you a full partnership. Now, I've always told my sons, beware when you're in business. When you're in business, that I've had people come up to me and say, hey, you know what? Me and you together, we could really do something. You know, you got this going, and I'll do the, if I was your partner, I'll say, and I tell my sons, okay, son, if somebody's wanting to be a partner with you, be in partnership, first find out how successful they've been in anything else, and figure out what they bring to the table. Figure out what they have to offer you, and then weigh that with what you have to offer them. That's the way it goes in a successful partnership. And because I've been in both kinds. I was in a partnership once, not very long. I got out of it as soon as I seen what a stupid mistake I'd made. But I was in a partnership once where, it was 99.5% Frank and 0.5. The other guy, the only thing I could really count on was him getting his check. And but so you got to know who you're partnering with, and then you got to know what you expect out of that partnership and what he expects out of that partnership.
That's good. Yes.
You got to know that. if it's going to work, if it's going to be a right partnership. Now, with Jesus, I have decided to partner with him. One thing, one of the most important things in any partnership is truth. See, I know he's true. I know him. It's an experiential thing. I already knew that. He's truthful. He's honest. I know that what he says, he can do and will do. I don't have enough. What could I offer Jesus? Jesus, what could I offer you to be a full partner with you? He said, you be my ambassador. He said, you. I'm gonna, through what I did, I'm gonna apply my sacrifice. I'm gonna apply what I've already done to you, to my Father. I'm going to apply that cross, that justification for everything you already done. I'm going to apply that to you, and then you're going to be justified for heaven.
Glory.
Wow, that's good. Praise God. I don't have to go on the cross. He did it. Okay? That's good, Jesus. But I'm the most miserable man on earth. Do I have to wait until I die to get anything out of this partnership? He said, no, you don't. No, you don't. He said, I offer you my peace. I offer you my well-being today. This very day, we will sign and seal this partnership. If you will commit to me, I commit it to you. If you will commit to me, then you can, whatever the measure you contribute to this partnership, you'll reap it.
That's it. That's it.
Whatever measure you contribute to this partnership, you'll reap. Wow, that sounds great. You mean I don't have to live depressed? Do you mean I'm going to have a new car that won't break down? No, I don't mean that. Because that's not a big deal. That's just temporary stuff here in this world. No, I mean, you don't have to live depressed. No, you don't have to be fearful of what's happening tomorrow. You don't have to have that anymore if you don't want it. I'll be your partner. We're partners. See, so that the yoke is their solitary yokes, but their yoke is commonly used with two mules, two oxen, and it's used with two together, to yoke two together. You walk together. I have had the blessed privilege of working mules a few times when I was young. And if they ain't walking together, buddy, it's tough. And you have one of those mules that's called the wheel horse. The wheel horse is the leader. He's the one that got, and the other one, if the other one is a good working mule, then he walks right in step with that other one, with the leader, with the wheel horse. I hope somebody get an opportunity to work a pair of mules one of these days. But then he says, my burden. He says, my burden. He says, my burden is light. What is burden? Trouble. Trouble. If you partner with me, if you yoke with me, your trouble's light. You won't have the same troubles as the people who are of this world, who have nowhere else to go. They don't have nowhere else to turn to. They're not partnered with me. And since they're not partnered with me, they have no other alternative because I am the only one who is sovereign, who is absolutely over all that is. He is. He is the I am. He gives you that. That's what He brings to the table. What do I bring to the table? He says, be like me. Be like me. Be gentle. Be kind. Be loving. Be like me. And he said, this whole thing started, Frank. This whole thing started. My dad wanted fellowship with you. God, the Almighty, who is Spirit, who always was, is, and will be. The Almighty, Most High God wanted fellowship with you. He wanted someone to share His good stuff with, His good conversation with, His peace with. So He made this plan. He made this plan for him. That His Son, Jesus, is going to take care of all the shortcomings you've had and you've dealt with and from Adam on. And will bring you into fellowship with Him. And the measure, this is critical. This is critical here. I want you to know it. I want you to think about it. And I've said it before. The measure of well-being and peace and joy and fearlessness that you have is proportional to your sanctification.
Amen.
Proportional to your sanctification. He said, I made the way for you to be justified. You didn't have to do nothing. You didn't have to do nothing. All you had to do is say, here I am. Forgive me. I want you to take my life.
That's right.
And He does. He does. And so by that, I'm justified in heaven. However, Frank, if you want more, now that takes care of you, Frank, for eternity. No man, he said, can pluck you out of my hand. You can walk away from me. That's your choice. That's your choice. You can turn away from me. That's your choice. But if you don't decide to do that, if you want to stay with me and fellowship with me, then your eternity is secure. Your eternity, I've got it. I've put your name down in the book of life. In my band, whenever we're taking notes on songs, working up songs, we'll write all our notes and everything in pencil. Then when it's final, I'll put it in ink. And I'll say, no, guys, it's down in ink. It's there. And so that's what it does. You put your name down in the book of life in ink. You're the only one. Then it has to be a blotter. He says, then I can blot your name out if you walk away. That's what he says to us. But if you want to go further than that, Frank, we got your eternity taken care of. If you want tomorrow and today and the next day and the next day and the next day taken care of, if you want to go through this life without being tormented by this world, because now you're no longer of this world, if you want that, then Frank, here's all you got to do. Be like my son. Be like my son. He came as an example to you, Frank. He laid down, he emptied himself of all glory. He come down here as an example to show you how it's done. What are your expectations of a life with Jesus? What do you expect out of a life with Jesus? Now think about that. Think about that. And then, what does he expect out of your life with him? It's a partnership. It's a partnership. What does he want from you? He wants you to be his advocate. He wants others to see him and you. He is the head. Who does the work? The body. I can think up all kinds of things for me to do. But my body rebels against them a whole lot. Matter of fact, go one step further, Vicky thinks up a whole lot of things for me to do. But my body don't cooperate all the time. Unless she thinks out louder and louder and louder. It don't cooperate all the time, so those things don't get done. So I am his body, and he said, Frank, all I want of you is to be my witness. Be, that's live. That's not what you say, that's what you do. That's what you are. That's what people look at you and they say, wow. It's not what you told them, it's what they're seeing in your life. I want you to be my witness. Yeah, we're partners. A perfect partnership benefits both concerns. I always say, I've done a lot of dealing and trading. I always say a deal is not a good deal unless it works for both parties.
That's right.
Not a good deal. That's not always the way it works out. But you get two people who give it their all, it's going to work for both parties. I want what I pay or what I give, I want it to benefit the other party who is benefiting me with what I need or with what he gives me, whatever. A deal is not a good deal unless it works for both parties. 1 Peter 1. I love 1 Peter 1, 2. And it says, be set apart. Somebody read that if you got 1 Peter 1, 15 to 16, I think. You got that there? Somebody is quick on the draw. Technical. I'm a technical whiz. I just don't want to embarrass all you guys with my speed on this. I'm only joking.
But as he who called you is holy, you also.
Wait a minute. Okay, say it again now.
But as he called you is holy.
As he who's called you, who? Yeah. As he is holy.
You also be holy in all your conduct.
In all your conduct.
Because it is written, be holy, Brian.
There it is. Is that hard to understand? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? In all your conduct, do what's right. Do the right thing. Do not dismiss. Do not justify like I do, like I haven't. I'm working hard at when a sharp tongue comes out, whoops, put that down. An opportunity to gossip. An opportunity for this or that. Anything that you know displeases God, and if you're saved, His Spirit in you, you know. If you don't recognize it, I also pray daily, God, show me anything that's displeasing you. I pray that all the time. And believe it or not, sometimes He does. So I want to correct that. Why? Because I want to be closer to Him. I want to reap everything. I want to live in the fullness. I want to live everything that He's got for me right now. Right now. says you be set apart. And that is a process that you begin. What he means is set apart from the people who are of the world. You're no longer of the world. You're in the world. So, since you're not of the world, you should not act like the people who are of the world. Don't react like people who are of the world. Well, how you going to react? Your soul, you have a choice. What you think is going to sooner or later become your will if you dwell on that. Sooner or later, if you have not controlled your thoughts, if you have not controlled your will, sooner or later you are going to not control your emotions, and that's what you're going to have to do. That's what you're going to do. That's just the way we are. Period. Period. I know I have done and said things that as soon as I said them or done, it was, oh, man. Why did I do that? I'll tell you why I did that. Because I allowed it to be in my head, and it became my will, and then I didn't control my emotions, and boom, there it was. Out of the abundance of my heart, of my soul. Here's the other scripture that I use. Your heart deceives you above all things. What is that? Your heart deceives you above all things. There's nothing else. Nothing else. That's above all things. Nothing else can deceive you like your heart. What does it mean? Nothing else in this world. Nobody else. My wife, nobody. The president, oh, don't go there. Nobody can deceive me like my heart, like my soul. Why is that? Because I have not taken my thoughts captive, because I have not gained the mind of Christ, because I have not had a renewing of my mind. I did not control my thoughts. Therefore, those thoughts got in there. They began to deceive me. I let them grow more than the good thoughts in Philippians 4:8. The things that are good, pure, and all those good things. He wouldn't have told me to think on those good things had I not been able to do that.
Amen.
So I let those thoughts control me. They became my will. My emotions triggered them. That's my soul. That's what my soul consists of. So what happened? My heart, soul, deceived me. There is nothing that can deceive me. We can blame it on whoever, whatever, whenever, however we want to, but it's my thoughts. Nobody has control of my thoughts like me. Above all things. If you think on rotten stuff, sooner or later it's going to